Can we go past $106,000? Today, I want to talk about the possibility of going past $106,000, what's happened today, where we can expect the market to go, and just crypto overall. But before we continue, I'd like for you to smash that subscribe button because every day I make daily updates of what's going on in the market so that you can stay informed. That being said, let's get started. First of all, let's look at Bitcoin. First, let's look at the past, the present, and then the future. So, looking at the past, we can see what happened with Bitcoin. Well, we saw that Bitcoin way back in November took a nice leap all the way up to 106,000 from $68,000. So it went up 40-ish thousand dollars, $38,000. It went up $38,000 all the way, and then it took a nice dip to $92,000, and now we're in a push to the upside. Looking at the present, we can see that we are at $99,000, breaking that 0.236 zone, meaning we are officially out of the golden ratio, and now there is only one zone to break, and that is at the zero level right here, meaning we are out of the Fibonacci retracement tool altogether, and we need to draw a new one showing the possibilities of where it could go. But looking at the future, that's what you're interested in. All you guys out there, all you want to know is, should I put money in Bitcoin now? Should I sell my left organ? Should I sell my stomach? Should I sell my left big toe or my right pinky finger just to buy some Bitcoin? Honestly, if I'm being completely honest, what I would say is the future is Bitcoin. I believe that Bitcoin is the future, and as of now, it looks very, very promising. There is but one concern I have, and that is the green. So, can it go to $106,000? I say yes. Bitcoin will more than likely surpass $106,000 in this bull run, looking at the charts. Now, how soon or how fast that can happen, only time will tell. But looking at this recent pullback, we went from 92,000 to 99,000 in the span of about a week. So starting December 31st to January 7th. So yeah, about a week. From a week ago, we went all the way over and cleared this zone. We went 6,000 in 7 days. So that's about $1,000 a day. Assuming that continues, that'll mean next week, by next week, we will break the all-time high. Now, that is most likely not going to happen only because as we get closer to the all-time high, people start to sell, which pushes the market down slightly. I believe that is what we're going to see. Just like with $100,000 back here, as we started getting close again, people started to sell. We went into a little bit of a range, a pullback, and then shot up to $106,000 from that. We can possibly see something like that happen again, and I think that is most likely what we will see. So when you start seeing pullbacks as we get closer, it's because people are getting scared and going and selling their Bitcoin. But for everybody that sells, there will always be more people that FOMO in, especially as it keeps going higher, more people will buy. So I would say within the next week or two, we should really expect Bitcoin to be pushing up and setting an all-time high. Next, I'd like to look at Solana. Solana, because that is where all the meme coins are, and meme coins are a super big hype this bull run, and I believe that the hype is not going anywhere for these meme coins. So looking at the past for Solana, we can see that also back in November, the beginning of November, we got a nice push to the upside, but then now we're in a pullback, hit a range right at this 0.786 zone, and then now we're pushing up. Looking at the present, you can see we're sitting at $215, smack dab in the middle of this 0.5 zone. We are at a slight pullback because the golden ratio is the next ratio to break. And as I've said here on the channel, the golden ratio is a strong resistance and support ratio, meaning that it's hard to break through, but once you break through and you hold, then it tends to hold for a while. It tends to be strong support pushing it towards the upside, or it's pushing it towards the downside until you can break out. So looking at the future, the way Solana looks now, it looks like it wants to pull back down and retest this 0.5 because it's not a true breakout until it's gone up and pulled back down and retested this level and then gone up again. That's how you know that it is actually a breakout. So as of now, we are still waiting for that retest of this 0.5 level, and I think that is what's happening right now. We're slowly going to be pulling back to this 0.5 level or to $210 before moving up again. Now, in regards to when to buy, that would actually be a nice time to buy. Now that's at $215, or even if it goes down to $210, and we'd like to see it hold so that it can keep going higher. Finally, I'd like to look at XRP and Cardano. The reason being is XRP has had a ton of hype over this coin because it doesn't do much. As you can see right here, XRP really hasn't been moving in a strong way. It has its ups, it has its downs, but it's mainly been in a range until back here in November, again, beginning of November, when everything exploded and it shot all the way up and more than 20x doubled. It doubled the price. And so now we are seeing that it's holding a nice range here. And XRP is more of a test, I'd say, because people are wanting to see how much farther can XRP go before it eventually dies out and goes back into that range for years and years and years. As of now, XRP is smack dab in the middle of the golden ratio. So like I talked about before, is in order to prove a true breakout, we need to move up past the zone we'd like to break out, pull back, use the zone as support, and then move to the upside again. And that is what XRP is in the middle of doing. It's in the middle of using this zone as a nice support zone. So it's on its way pulling back to $2.28. As of now, it sits at $2.40. So it's needing to drop 18 cents before it truly counts as a breakout and it starts heading upwards again. So XRP, buy or don't buy. What I would say, especially for XRP, is dollar cost average. What that means is if you have $10, put $10 in today, $10 in tomorrow, $10 in the day after that until you put $1 in today, $1 in until you reach that $10. So now that you've put $1 in, you will actually have bought 10 candles. Now, many people think, well, won't I buy the bottom and the top? And that's exactly the point. When you buy the bottom and the top, you end up in the middle of where exactly all of this has gone. So going back, using this as an example, if we bought 10 candles, you would see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So we'd start at this candle right here and look where we would end up here. We got huge pushes. We bought the bottom, we bought the top, and now we're here in the middle, but our price would actually be closer to $2.20 or $2.18 right here at the bottom. So you can see that with dollar cost averaging, although you buy the top and the bottom, because you bought the bottom and you bought the top, it averages out to a nice price and you start making some significant profits. That is exactly what I do every day. I dollar cost average into different coins. Now, the reason I'd like to look at Cardano is because Cardano has big plans. The people running Cardano, they have big plans for what this coin can do. They're wanting to work with President-elect Donald Trump. They're wanting to make it easier to use, to actually make it usable just like Bitcoin, so you can buy and sell Cardano, you can use it at the grocery store, at any restaurants. They want to make Cardano a super useful coin. But as of now, looking at the price, we haven't seen exactly all of those big actions come into play. Now, they talk about what they want to do and how that's going to skyrocket the price. But as of now, let's look at the past, present, and future. Looking at the past, back in November, you've heard it here, you'll hear it again, but back in November when all the coins exploded, back towards the beginning of November, Cardano was one of them, exploded, went and hit a pullback, just like many of these coins, and actually closed under that one level, meaning it closed under the swing low, which is something you really never want to see. But now it's made a nice recovery and it's trying to break out of that 0.5 zone. It's trying to break into the 0.5 zone. Right now it's in the 0.618 zone. Now, buy or don't buy, of course I'm going to say dollar cost average is the best way to buy, but whether it goes up or not, it's doing something interesting. If we zoom in here, you can see it's wanting to really test this 0.5 zone right here, and it's really pushing up on this zone. So it may possibly drop down from 108 to 104 and drop down 4 cents in price to then it can really use this as support because it hasn't actually tested this level right here. It hasn't had a pullback test it to push up, or it may just break out without actually testing the level, which is something that can happen sometimes, but preferably we'd like to see it pull back and continue up. So Cardano is not a bad option, especially since the owners are talking a lot about Cardano, which is gathering attention to the coin. So what have we seen? We've seen that Bitcoin can likely break all-time highs. Looking what's happened in the past week, if that continues to happen, adjusting for the pullbacks we're going to get as we get closer, Bitcoin can break all-time highs within the next 2 weeks. Bitcoin can go above $106,000. We looked at Cardano and how it had a nice pullback, but it's back and it's making some good profits. We looked at XRP and how it might die, but as of now, it looks like it's not going to die and it's actually in the golden ratio. So, all that being said, I will catch you guys tomorrow. Adios.